Now for fast forward, you can just take any footage, crank it into 200, 300, 400, 500% and just let it go. It'll be fine. But the ones that look the best are ones that are either one of two things, something that is complete or something that will repeat. So by complete, I mean, like let's say you're building like a sandcastle. When it's done, it's complete. For repeat, that's something like, let's say traffic, where the cars keep going through an intersection or whatever, and when you put in fast forward, you can just see them zipping by and forward and whatever. But short little bursts of fast forward are really cool too. You did it!
Now, unlike editing slow motion video, where there are many aspects to consider, as we are essentially stretching clips out and creating gaps between frames, editing fast forward video is much simpler, because now we actually have an excess of frames, where only, for example, every second frame might be used if the clip is adjusted to 200%, or maybe even every 10th frame if the clip is adjusted to 1000%. So now that we know that, let me show you the 3 different ways to make your clips play in fast forward using Premiere Pro, starting with the rate stretch tool, which, surprise, surprise, can be found within your tools over here. Now, you might not see it though, so you have to hover over this one right here, the Ripple Edit tool, left click and hold, and you'll see this other drop down, and then you can find rate stretch tool right there. But you can also, if you're selected on your selection tool, you can also just hit R on your keyboard and it'll pop up as well. Now, the rate stretch tool is very easy to use. You just go to the edge of a clip, either at the end or at the start, and you'll see it'll switch to this little symbol right here. And all you have to do is click and then shrink your clip down, and that'll make it faster. And you can see right here, this clip, when I did that, changed to 209.88%. So the shorter you go, the faster it's going to be. And then you can also go the other way and stretch it out further to make it slower than 100%, which means slow motion. So if I cram this into, let's say, 171%, we can see that it'll adjust the video and the audio to be faster. And if I go even quicker, it'll keep all the frames still, but the video and audio will be even faster. And just so you know, it doesn't matter if you rate stretch from the start of your clip or from the end. Either way, it's just going to crunch it down and make your clip faster. Unlike if you're using your selection tool and you trim from the start, it's going to cut off the start. And if you trim from the end, it's going to cut off the end. All right, so when do you actually use the rate stretch tool? Well, I use it for any time that I want to make a clip fast forward or slow-mo, and I don't really care about the exact percentage that it ends up at, and or when I want to cram it into a gap between 2 clips. So for this one, for example, this is the clip that I was rate stretching before. In this situation, I'm going to bring it up to this level and then down to this layer, and I'm going to slide it over and match it up. I want this whole clip. But now when I hit the rate stretch tool, I can go to the end and I can just squeeze it into that gap. It'll make it whatever percentage that it made sense to squeeze it in there. So in this case, it was 215.19%. And then I can just go back to my selection tool and move it back into place. But just so you know, you can make even more refined adjustments if you go Command or Control R, and that'll bring up the clip speed/duration window, which is actually the second method that we're going to talk about for making something fast forward in Premiere. And just so you know, you can also access that menu by selecting a clip, right-clicking on it, and going up to speed/duration. This menu obviously gives us the ability to change a clip's speed and or its duration. So take note of this clip. At 100%, it's 4 seconds and 26 frames. So this is hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. So anything that I make lower than 100% will be slow motion, and anything higher will be fast forward. And you're going to use this option instead of the rate stretch tool if you want to select an exact percentage. So for example, if I want to go 200%, notice that automatically the time changed to 2 seconds and 13 frames, which is half of the duration that it was before. Because the faster you make it, the shorter the clip is going to be. So when I click OK, take note down here what happens. It's going to be cut in half. And once again, if I play it, the video and the audio is going to be fast forward. You can also adjust the clip from the duration side of things as well. So if you click in here and you want to make it, let's say 3 seconds, for example, and then put 0 frames, note what happens to speed up here. When I click away, it changes it to 162.22%. to match this duration. When I click OK, you can see that one shortens as well, just not as much as the last one. But if you want, you can also adjust these so they're exclusive from each other by simply clicking this chain. So now they're not linked to each other. Notice now when I put in 200%, the duration is going to stay at 4 seconds and 26 frames, and it didn't jump down to 2 seconds like it did before. But if you notice down here, OK is gone. That's because at 200%, this clip is actually not long enough to make it 4 seconds. So I'm going to try 150 and see what happens. Yeah, so now I can keep it at 4 seconds and 26 frames, click OK, and it's going to keep it at that duration, but it's going to make it faster. It just had to extend the clip a little bit over here. To show you the rest of these things, I'm going to activate the chain, and I'm just going to jump this to 200%, and then go down here, and I'm going to click on this, reverse speed. So obviously if you click that, it's going to play fast, but it's going to be in reverse now. This one right here will try to maintain the clip's audio pitch to make it sound like it originally did.
Wow, good jump. Wow, good jump.
But most of the time it sounds pretty bad and tinny. And then last but not least, there's ripple edit shifting trailing clips, which only comes into play when you are changing the speed or duration of your clip and there's other clips that are after it on your sequence. So notice the difference between whether I have it checked or not. So when it's unchecked and I click OK, the clip is going to go to 200% and it's going to be half as long, but now it's going to leave a gap. It's not going to affect anything else on the timeline. So now you have to fill that in with whatever other clips, move things around, or maybe even go back to your selection tool and try and stretch out your clip to fill in the gap. Just don't use your rate stretch tool, because if you use that and stretch it out, now it's going to be back to 100%, if you can notice right there. On the other hand, if I now click Ripple Edit Shifting Trailing Clips and then click OK, watch what happens to these clips over here. Click OK. It's going to do the same thing, go to 200%, half as long, but it moved all the clips that were after it on the timeline over to fill in that gap. You might also use Ripple Edit Shifting Trailing Clips if you only want part of your clip to be in fast forward as well. To do that, just move your playhead to where you want it to start being fast forward, use your razor tool to slice, find the spot where you want it to end being in fast forward and go back to normal speed. So let's say there, slice again, go back to your selection tool, click on the middle section, right click, go to speed/duration, change it to whatever speed you want. So let's go 400%, and then make sure to click Ripple Edit Shifting Trailing Clips. If you don't and click OK, you're going to leave this gap and you got to move this clip over. But if you do check it and click OK, it's going to automatically move it over. Now your clip's going to go regular speed, fast forward, and then back to regular speed. And just in case you're wondering, time interpolation down here is only a factor when it comes to slow motion. The third way to make something fast forward in Premiere is to do something called time remapping or speed ramping, which is just another way to make a clip have different speeds throughout the clip rather than slicing it into bits. For time remapping, the first thing you want to do is actually expand the layer of the clip that you're dealing with by hovering over this little line, clicking on it, and then dragging it up so we can have more real estate to work with. Then you're going to go up to this little effects thing in the corner, right click on it, go down to time remapping, and choose speed. That'll put a little white line across the middle of your clip, which is where we're going to apply our keyframes to in order to change the speed throughout this clip. And you can do that in two ways. One way is to move your playhead to where you want it to go fast. So let's just say right there, and you can click this little thing right here. Boom, and that'll add these little brackets or a keyframe right there. Another way is to go down here, find your next spot. So maybe right there. And I'm going to hold Command or Control and then just click on the line, and that'll also do the exact same thing. So what's basically happened here is with these lines added, the clip is now divided into 3 different speed segments that we can manipulate exclusive from each other. And I'm just going to deal with this one right in the middle here. So to change the speed, you just hover over the line, so you get this little up and down arrow thing, click, and then slide down to go in slow-mo, and you can see the clip is going to expand out, or this segment is going to expand to be slower. But for fast forward, you drag it up, and you can see the segment is becoming smaller because it's going to go faster for that little chunk. Okay, when I let go, the clip is now going to be a little bit shorter because this section became faster, meaning the overall clip is shorter by a little bit. Just notice that down here, the audio does not get affected in the same way. So if we watch this, we're going to see it's regular speed, then it's going to abruptly change to fast forward, and then it's going to go right back to regular speed, but the audio is playing normal the whole way through. It doesn't go fast in the same way. I'm going to show you how to fix that a little bit later, but for now I'm just going to mute the audio because it doesn't impact anything that we're going to do up here. All right, so what makes this different from just slicing your clip and then making one section fast forward is that we can adjust the transition from regular speed to fast forward in a more gradual way by simply clicking on these little brackets and separating them. And that creates a ramp here that means the clip is going to go from regular speed and then gradually change into fast forward here, instead of like on this end, it's still an abrupt change. So the further you drag them apart, the more gradual the change is going to be, and the closer they are together, the more abrupt it's going to be. But that's not the only thing you can do to adjust this transition. If you click on one of the brackets, we get these little handles here that you can click and pivot to change kind of how it eases in and then eases out, instead of it being just a constant rate of change. Once you think you have your transition set, I would suggest watching your clip so you can see how that transition happens. And if you want to change it, then again, just crunch these in to make it a shorter transition, spread them out to make it a longer one, or to move where the transition happens, and then click on a bracket to adjust kind of the ease in and out of that transition. So if we take a look at this clip now, you're going to see that it's going to go regular speed, and then I have it ramped up to be really, really fast, and then ramp it back down to go back to regular speed. But if we were to listen to that audio, it's still going to be off. So to fix that, my suggestion is to just hover the blue line here, your playhead, to about the midway point of the transition. Lock your video so you don't affect it. Go to your razor tool, slice at that point, go back to your selection tool, click on here, right click, and you're going to go back into speed/duration and change it to the same speed that this was here. So I don't really remember what I had, so I'm going to hover over here. You can see it's about 388%. So I'm going to right click, go to speed/duration and go 388. I'm going to click OK. That's going to make the clip faster. And I'm going to do the same thing here on the transition out. So I'll go back to my razor tool, slice, go back to the selection tool, click on this, right click, speed/duration, and I know this one was back to 100%. Click OK. And if we expand this out, we can see that it's almost lined up properly here at the end. It's just off by a little bit. So since these are both 100% clips and we want them to actually line up properly, you're then going to grab your audio and drag it to the left so that the ends are properly lined up. That means everything from here to here will be properly lined up audio, video wise. And then we just have to deal with these transitions of the audio down here. So to do that, you're going to go up to your effects, go into your audio transitions, and then go into crossfade and drag constant powers onto the spots where the audio is transitioning from regular to fast or fast to regular. Now when we watch this, we're going to see that it goes regular speed, regular sound, and it's going to quickly ramp up to fast forward and then back to regular, and all this is going to be lined up properly over here. If you want to learn how to film and edit other change of speed effects like slow motion, reverse, or frame hold, then make sure to check out the videos linked in the description below or one of the ones on the screen right now.